right from the start, we should give credit to Nora Gold for organizing the very first meeting of what she thought were progressive Jews interested in supporting Israel. So that really sort of was the spark. It resonated with me because I had a lot of Jewish friends who considered themselves progressive, but didn't feel at home in the Jewish community because the Jewish community that supported Israel did it from a fairly right-wing perspective and didn't feel comfortable with that perspective. So there was a need there, and people jumped at the opportunity to help create this space. We had a first public meeting in the JCC on Spadina and Bloor, and the turnout was pretty good and the reaction was very good. And the turnout to our first conference, the enthusiasm of the people who were present was very reassuring. So that gave us the confidence to continue.
I've been a strong supporter of JSpace over the years and have had the pleasure of participating in your programs. Indeed, your mission statement and guiding principles have very much dovetailed with my own, including being a voice for progressive Jewish values and a progressive voice for Israel, being an advocate for social justice and peace, being an advocate of two states for two peoples, involving the mutual acknowledgement and respect for the aspirations and self-determination of each of the peoples.
How can we support building positive relationships between Jews and Palestinians in the Middle East and in Canada in order to work together to really make a difference, to replace hate with hope, and to build a shared society?
Well, this is the 10th anniversary of JSpaceCanada, and the work that JSpace has done over the last 10 years has been really incalculable. It has brought together progressive Jews, centrist Jews, and others who understand and have a passion for Israel and a passion for Canadian Jewry. It has been revered, it has gained a legacy in 10 years as a voice of the Jewish people of this country.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Isaacs and I'm the director of Heart to Heart, and more recently I've also become the camp director of Camp Shomria Hashomer Hatzair. Over the past 10 years, I've watched JSpace blossom and grow. I still remember those first meetings in the JCC and talking about how great it would be to have a website. I'm wishing you all another decade of good work to build collaboration and momentum within the Jewish community in support of peace and solidarity between Israelis and Palestinians.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate JSpace on 10 wonderful years of very important work in the Jewish community, on behalf of the Jewish community, and more importantly, in the service of our broader society, both here in Canada and of course, in Israel, Palestine as well. JSpace represents the kinds of values that I think we should all be able to get behind: a commitment to pluralism, to peaceful coexistence, to multiculturalism, and to a vibrant liberal constitutional democracy both here and abroad.
Hello, JSpaceCanada. As leader of your official opposition NDP here in Ontario, I'm glad to extend a big congratulations on your 10th anniversary, and my thanks for everything that you do. For a decade, JSpace has played such an important role in our country and in our political process. From convening, empowering, and amplifying progressive Jewish voices and values, to your ongoing dedication to and advocacy for Israeli-Palestinian peace. New Democrats are proud and fortunate to count JSpace members among our party's membership and our grassroots activist base. And I'm so proud to continuing working shoulder to shoulder with you as we keep pushing for our shared vision.
Canadian Friends of Peace now is very glad to have JSpaceCanada as an ally in the cause of progressive Zionism. In recent years, we've come together a number of times in joint statements to the Canadian government on Israeli-Palestinian peace. We've joined forces in other ways too, and in so doing, we've made a bigger impact.
You know, a few years ago, I accepted your invitation to speak at a conference in Toronto. And this gave me the opportunity to really appreciate the impact you have in all of your work, the political work, the communal work, and building up a real sense of camaraderie among progressive Canadian Jews. I also want to thank JSpaceCanada for your contribution to the development of JLink, the international network of progressive Jewish organizations. Through your representative on the coordinating committee, Barbara Landau, we have really connected like-minded people all over the world around the issues that we care so deeply about.
In 2019, Alon Liel and I co-created JLink, an international progressive Jewish network to continue our advocacy for human rights, peace, and an end to the occupation, with representatives from 6 continents. JSpaceCanada is solidly on the international map. Kol hakavod.
Hi, everyone. It's Jeremy Benamy, president of J Street, the pro-Israel, pro-peace movement in the country just to your south. I'm excited to join you virtually in celebration of JSpaceCanada's 10th anniversary. Over the past decade, you have been such an important part of the growing chorus around the world of pro-Israel, pro-peace, pro-justice, pro-diplomacy Jews who are speaking out ever more loudly and frequently and forcefully in support of the core values that we all share from a pro-Israel perspective. It's been wonderful for J Street to have JSpaceCanada as a partner over all these years. I know we'll always see you at our conferences in Washington, and we'll run into you in gatherings, whether in person or virtually, of like-minded Jews from around the world. And your voice and your representation of the rational center of Canadian Jewry could not be more important in discussions about Israel and the Middle East as they take place all over the world, and in particular here in North America.
My name is Raja Khoury. I'm CEO of Khoury Conversations. That's where some of you would know me from. I'm also the founding president of the Canadian Arab Institute, and I have spoken at a number of your conferences, the last one being the one in person in 2019. Now, if you don't remember that conference, I'll remind you by an incident that happened that day. An interesting fellow came in and called all of us capos. The word was new to me, but what it said to me, that experience, is that I found that I had a lot more in common with you than you had with him. JSpace's importance to me is that it provided for me and people like me a partner that I can speak with, that I can dialogue with, and have useful and courageous conversations with.
Hi, I'm Ya'ara Sachs, the Member of Parliament for York Centre. I've been a participant and an observer of JSpace's work for a number of years, and I am always inspired by how many of you from our Jewish community, from coast to coast to coast, are committed to the work of dialogue, equality, and inclusivity in the peace-building space. It is not the easy path to walk, but each of you have committed time and again through your participation in JSpace and its programs. Pirkei Avot teaches us that on 3 things does the world stand: justice, truth, and on peace. JSpaceCanada is such an important partner in this work, and its advocacy for progressive Jewish values and Israeli-Palestinian peace that is just and lasting are an important part of the process.
Hi everyone, I'm Alistair McGregor, and I serve as the Member of Parliament for the beautiful riding of Couch and Malahat Langford, way out here on Vancouver Island on Canada's beautiful west coast. And I just wanted to record this message to offer my sincere congratulations to JSpaceCanada on reaching that awesome milestone of your 10th anniversary. I also just wanted to add a personal note because, when I was younger, I had the good fortune when I was 8, 9 years old of living abroad in Israel. I got to live there for a full year because my dad was offered a position at a hospital in East Jerusalem. And so I got to see firsthand what an amazing place that is, the deep sense of history and the importance it has for both Palestinians and Israelis. I wanted to make mention of that because I think it's really important to recognize JSpaceCanada's real efforts at bringing a progressive vision to the conflict that's going on in that region, and its efforts in recognizing that we're only going to achieve security if we have a fundamental understanding of both human rights and a pursuit of peace through a negotiated settlement.
Congratulations to JSpaceCanada on 10 incredible years. Wow, your commitment and dedication to providing a strong progressive voice for the Canadian Jewish community and others has been so important. For 10 years, you have been steadfast in your commitment to social justice, peace, and human rights in Canada and around the world. And just last fall, I was both thrilled and honored to participate in an educational webinar discussion with Dr. Kenneth Stern. That discussion was lively, engaging, and included important insights into our responsibilities as leaders, academics, and communities. That's what JSpace is, a place where folks can come together to explore different perspectives, experiences, and share our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion.
During our first decade, I've had the pleasure of watching JSpace grow from the vision of a dedicated few to the participation and support of the many. One of the most extraordinary things about JSpace is that everyone is a volunteer, and what a talented and loyal group of people.
Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. It's a big deal. And your organization has done incredible work over the last decade. And it's really contributed to a greater level of discourse between communities, but also particularly within the Jewish community. And I know sometimes, and maybe and I can speak from personal experience, sometimes it's hard to have difficult conversations about progressive issues within our own communities. But your organization has done that.
We speak about these issues and we're concerned about these issues because we care about the Jewish community. We care about Israel, we care about the Jewish world and our place in it. That's why we need to take action, and that's why we need to stay connected, continue mobilizing for change here in Canada and supporting change makers across the world, including in Israel.
I'm delighted to join you today to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of JSpaceCanada and welcoming a new decade of building hope together. Over the last 10 years, JSpace has been a progressive Jewish Canadian voice and has been instrumental in promoting pro-Israel and pro-peace solutions through education, constructive dialogue, advocacy, and youth engagement in Canada and abroad. Through panels, webinars, social justice advocacy, and the incredible biennial conference, JSpace has worked so hard to create a space for open dialogue on Israel, Jewish identity, anti-Semitism, and human rights.
On behalf of the Federal Anti-Racism Secretariat, I would like to congratulate JSpaceCanada for all its accomplishments this past decade in providing brave spaces and amplifying the voices of Canada's progressive Jewish communities to advocate on social justice, equity, peace, and human rights.
Hello everyone, my name is Georgia Gardner, and I'm a third-year English major studying at Queen's University. I first got involved in JSpace when I was looking for a job after grade 12, and I soon began working as the JSpace Social Justice intern, and I've been involved ever since. I first want to wish JSpace a very happy 10th anniversary, and a congratulations on an astounding 10 years.
I'm Zach Babbins, and I've been around JSpaceCanada since the 2019 biennial conference.
JSpace has provided me with some incredible opportunities to meet amazing pro-peace advocates from around the world. As a progressive Jew, I'm excited to be a part of a Canadian Jewish organization that really champions social justice and peace.
I am so grateful to have been, a part of JSpace for the past few years. I have met incredible people. I've become so close, and I have networked with some really amazing individuals. But most importantly, I kind of feel a sense of belonging that I never really felt in the Jewish community before. So I really think JSpace is an incredible organization whose impact is absolutely immeasurable, especially on, I think, young people like myself who are trying to shape the future of our community. And I think JSpace is an essential part of that future. So I'm looking forward to the next 10 years.